Good Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Choporial. And today, I have Gray and I have Salty himself. What's up, gentlemen? Thanks for joining me on this on this late Friday night or Saturday morning for you, Gray.
Hello, love. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, check the private message real quick. I'm all right. I'm glad it's a long weekend. I of course live in a very tourist intensive place, and there were a lot of tourists on the roads today trying to kill me and everyone that lives here, but I survived. So
Why have you got a long weekend, folks?
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Nice.
Yeah, it's lots of people with fishing boats and pull behind trailers and other stuff like that, and yeah, and good for them, man. You know, people getting out, being in nature, spending their money in my small town. I'm all about that. So
Nice. All right, I did fix my audio, so do I sound better?
you sound lovely. You sound
Okay.
good enough to eat.
All right, good. All right,
Sneezing.
That's good. That's good to hear. So I figure, we got about an hour. I figure we talk about comics, and in this case, I'm going to be traveling to Portland next week to go to Rose City Comic Con. Yes, first time ever in Portland, and hopefully I won't. And probably last time I'll be in Portland. So
Shots fired.
just hopefully I don't see the bad parts of it. So
You will. The whole
but-
city is bad. There's no bad parts. The whole thing is like
even the hotel
smear.
Even
Oh
the
yeah,
hotel?
no, it's
Okay.
it's downtown. That's the problem with Portland is it's enabling isn't even a strong enough word. It's literally just that this is how they want it. And wherever there's a place where tourists congregate,
Yeah.
you're gonna have them there.
Yeah, now I got the Petula Clark song stuck in my head. Now, I'm probably gonna play it when I get to Portland. Downtown, da 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 da. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. So one person that I'm definitely going to be steering clear of, like the plague, is Will Wheaton.
Oh yeah, you want me to share?
I can't believe he is the main. Like he's the main attraction. Like, okay, I liked him. I liked him in Stand By Me. And I mean, everybody hates Wesley. I didn't hate Wesley nearly as much as
I did.
characters. Well, yeah.
Oh, shut up, Wesley.
That was funny.
Had to say it.
But yeah, this is who's going to be at Rose City Comic Con, and it's pretty damn good line.
Billy Piper, Salty. Come on.
I know.
Oh, you
I
got
know.
Bruce Campbell. Okay.
Yeah, they
Ooh.
people in the last week. Yeah. So
Christopher
Yeah.
Eccleston, because he's running out of money in the acting gigs.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
yeah,
Corey Feldman, because what else is Corey Feldman gonna do?
it's true. It's true.
David Harbour needs money. Is Edward James
Yeah.
Olmos been anything lately? I don't think he has.
I don't. I think he's probably doing a lot of theater or teaching or something like that. But
Yeah.
a lot of these people, to me, not to be flippant about it, but I think Billy Piper. She seems like a fantastic person. She seems really warm. I think Bruce Campbell's a legend. Christopher Eccleston is an outstanding actor. I wish he would come back to Doctor Who. I really, really wish he would, and they got rid of
No,
everybody.
stay away.
Do you think
Every-
Never
that?
come back.
Do you think 60? Do you think he'll try? I mean, I don't know how. I mean, bad Doctor Who is now. Like, are they going to do a 60th?
Well, here's the thing: if Russell T Davies is still attached, and all of the other people, Stephen Tranter, there's a woman. Bad Wolf Studios essentially gave up all of their leased space. So, if this thing gets made, it's not going to be done through Bad Wolf, which is what has been doing Doctor Who since the relaunch. So
Yeah.
But David Harbour is a giant liberal leftist tool bag. I think he's competent in Stranger Things, but have no desire to ever see him in anything else.
Yeah. And who's that guy in the bottom left? Is that Jack Torrance? Is that supposed to be? Oh, it's Henry Thomas.
Oh, it's Henry Thomas all grown up.
Yeah, look at him. But John Rhys Davies, dude, Gimli,
Yeah.
Sala from Raiders of the Lost Ark,
The Professor
of
and
course,
Sliders.
Sliders. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else I've seen him in. John Rhys Davies.
He was in Aquaman, The Hunger Games.
Oh, he was in Shogun. He was in the original Shogun. He was
Yeah,
he was the.
Come on, lads. Do you not speak Welsh? You are. It's John Rhys Davisdale.
No, none of us do.
Sorry, Gray. We're not.
He's cool. I love him. Bad dates.
Yeah.
If any of you guys,
so do you.
Have any of you guys finished The Walking Dead? I DNF'd Walking Dead.
Yes.
After
I finished it.
Season 8 was like my last. Like once they killed off
3.
Carl, I was like, what the hell? What the hell are they doing?
Season 3, that was the end of it for me. Seriously, I finished it. As far as I'm concerned, that was it. I
should have finished after season 2. Salty. That was the best. That was the peak, wasn't it?
Season 1 was the peak.
1 and 2. Yeah.
Because that was Frank. Season 1 was Frank Darabont, and then I think it was season 5 or season 6 that Scott Gimple took over, and then the whole series started going to hell. Yeah. Actually, I caught up just in time for season 5. Season 5 wasn't bad, but like once the saviors came into the thing, I was expecting it to be good, but it ended up being slower.
Is it still going now?
The spin-offs.
I don't know.
There's like a billion. So they ended The Walking Dead and they ended Fear the Walking Dead. I actually watched the first 3 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, but then they killed off their main character, and I was just like, they killed off their 2 main characters. I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I stopped with that because they completely replaced the cast with people from The Walking Dead. I was just like, what the hell?
I tried watching the Daryl Dixon spinoff where he washes up in France. That was just the most.
He's in France?
Started out, yeah. So the season starts out well, the first 2 episodes, Brian.
Yeah.
But then it's just you can fast forward through it because it just becomes really predictable slop. But Katie Lee Sackhoff, the one and only Starbuck herself, she has been in so many forgettable, like. Diversity, like I saw one like D-tier movie with her where it was like trans and gay in space, and
really?
they didn't even try to have interiors that looked like it was a spaceship. It just looked like cubicles. It was so bad. But God, I mean, I think she's a great actress. I don't know why she didn't take off on the big screen. I genuinely don't. Maybe she's a pain in the ass.
I don't know either. I know she was in what else was she in that I've seen? She was in the Clone Wars. She plays Bo-Katan. And then they had her play herself in live action in the Mandalorian, of all things.
Guys, I know I'm a dummy, but can I ask you for a Comic Con, what have all these people got to do with comics?
Well, when you go to a big convention here, a lot of the draw is normies and actors and actors.
It's just
we're gonna get to the comics people.
Yeah.
I'll let you read these, Brian. It's your show. You go ahead, and I'll just keep moving the thing around.
So. Well, yeah. I mean, like I think the Katie Sackhoff. The last thing I think besides her playing Bo-Katan and of course playing Starbuck and BSG. She I don't know if any of you guys watched 24. Like she was in I think she was in the final season. I think she was.
I didn't watch it.
Really? No.
Yeah, she was in the final season, and she's like Freddie Prinze was also in the final season, and she turns out to be an evil mole. You know, like one of those. You know, one of those like you think she's a good guy, but she's actually not. You know, which they've repeated multiple times. But yeah. I think that's how I first saw her. My buddy, I was watching with my buddy. He was telling me, she was in Battlestar Galactica, and then years later, I finally watched that. And so yeah. But yeah, Katie Parker. I don't know who that is.
That's okay. You've got Carrie Green now because this is in Portland, Oregon. The legacy of Goonies is very important to Portland.
Is this like a Goonies? Is this like a Goonies? There's Robert Davey. There's Sean Astin. We have to. I mean, we have to have the best actor from the Goonies. Where is Michael Pantoliano or whatever?
I don't know.
Is he going to show? He's got to show.
But then you got obviously Martha Plimpton. It was in that too. She was in a bunch of stuff that I'd never watched. Then of course Mary McDonnell, who I fell in love with watching Dances with Wolves. She was outstanding.
And the president.
the Madam President in BSG, but just she's a great actress, and she was great in Independence Day too. So, then you got Michael Cutlitz.
Yep, the one that gets his face smashed by Negan.
Yep,
that was like, oh, they had to end it with a not just a cliffhanger, but like who's gonna die, and then of course it was Abraham because, well, if you've read the comics, Abraham dies earlier, so they took his death in the comic and they gave it to the nurse, the nurse instead. So the same exact shot too.
Robert Davey, who has been, I follow him on Twitter, and he's I wouldn't call him conservative. I would call him more based, who's very active in trying to hold Gavin Newsom accountable for what's going on in Los Angeles.
Him and James Woods, both of those guys.
Yep. And then of course Sean Astin, who I've met before. I met at Dallas Comic-Con. So, yeah.
Robert Davey. I was in junior high, dickhead. That's all that is. Every time I see that, I always think that from Die Hard.
Oh, yeah.
I was in fucking weird. Once I were in fucking Saigon. Well, I was in junior high, dickhead. So there you go.
That's great. I don't know who Stephen Ogg is. Oh, he was in The Walking Dead.
He was in The Walking Dead. He was. I think he's most famous for playing the unhinged character Trevor in GTA 5.
Okay.
He's one of the protagonists, and then of course. I don't see anybody. I don't see there's just this blank row right there. I don't see anything. So I think we should move on.
Why is he bottom of the list?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It doesn't look alphabetical, but these are voice actors. Do you guys care about this? I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. So
I don't know any of these voice actors.
It's a lot of whatever. But here we go. This will pique Gray's interest. So we've got, first one is Agnes Garbowska. I've met her. I met her a couple of months ago when they did the what the hell's it called? Washington State Comic-Con. I didn't get anything signed by her because she primarily does My Little Pony stuff and cutesy stuff. She has done Teen Titans Go and Care Bears, but she's a really sweet, very pretty young woman. She's got some talent. Alessandro Vitti. I have 6 different comics to get signed by him, including Secret Warriors, X-Men, and Red Lanterns. So I don't know if you have any feelings about Vitti at all, Gray or Brian.
No.
Yeah. Alex Saviak, he's done Web of the Spider-Man. He was really doing that run before McFarlane took over. So I have several Web of Spider-Man comics from that late 80s era in there. And he also worked on early Green Lantern from 78, 79. So the first time Hal Jordan is ever mentioned in a Green Lantern comic, I think, is Green Lantern 158 or 159. Anyway, I've got it. So I'm going to get that signed by Saviak too.
Is he still making comics, or is he just, just
he will do sort of like high exclusive variant covers every once in a while. Yeah. And then you've got, another one of these women, she works in Star Wars and Wonder Woman, and I'm not getting anything signed by her. Pretty much she's just doing Powerpuff Girls. Believe it or not, these people who do My Little Pony and Powerpuff Girls are incredibly popular with young millennial and Gen Z boys who are way too feminized, but that's just an observation. So
I don't understand the My Little Pony phenomena, or the brony phenomenon. Is that what they call them? How did that start? Or the stories told,
I don't know, dude. When you don't have a father, when all of your entertainment is feminized, when you have an educational system that punishes boys for acting like boys,
Mm-hmm.
Andy Parks. I've got a couple issues of Green Lantern. I've got some of his Batman stuff as well. I'm getting stuff signed by from him, and I don't know if you know Andy Parks at all. Gray.
Not jumping out. No. These names are kind of passing me by.
We'll get into some other ones. Andy Bellinger, he did one cover for Conan Battle of Blackstone issue, I think it was 3. He also has been doing work on Savage Sword of Conan. I think he's That's what I'm getting signed by him. I've only got like 2 things.
Cool.
Andy McDonald, Wolverine, Infinity Watch. He was in New 52. A lot of, in my opinion, forgettable things. I don't think I'm getting anything signed by McDonald. Then you've got Andy McGillis, very gay gentleman who does a lot of Pride covers, and but he also worked on the Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Unlimited comics. So I'm not getting anything signed by him. Yeah. Anthony Marquez, he did Batman, The Audio Adventures, a very forgettable comic book series. The Green Hornet, great book, but just not my thing. He is also done a bunch of covers for the current run of Space Ghost. So I'm getting like 6 covers that he did signed for Space Ghost. So
interesting.
Space Ghost. And then Arthur Adams, the whole reason why I'm going to Portland for the first time since 2017.
Now, that's a big name.
So I have 2 cases of each one of these cases fit 17 bagged and boarded comics. I have 37 comics for Arthur Adams to sign, and I've gone through it and gone through it.
Only 37
through it, or 35. Well. Here's the thing about Arthur Adams. When I was collecting comic books in 1985, I was 15 years old. Right, Arthur Adams was making pizzas and was found by Marvel. Never went to art school. Never took a lesson. He immediately he had an idea for, he had been doing some covers and some fill-in work at 19 years old, only 4 years older than I am.
Wow.
And he had an idea of something called Long Shot. And I remember being in a comic book shop in 1985 and picking up this comic and going, this looks awesome. And so, Arthur Adams, I have so many covers by him. He's done fantastic ones for Red Sonja when Oeming was doing the run. He's done countless amazing covers for the X-Men, Wolverine, just X Factor, Fantastic Four, just amazing cover work. And so he's the very first person that I am going to see on Friday to beat the rush of the weekend. So.
Speaking of which, did you guys see the new Red Sonja that they released?
Yeah, I saw enough to know.
I believe it's a new movie.
I did a video on it 2 years ago when the trans director was talking about all of the agenda that he was putting in it while wearing a dress, and I'm like, yeah, just okay, whatever.
Another thing I saw today on X was there, and nobody knew about this until like today or recently. They're doing another version of Deathstalker. And guess who's in the top? Who's in the top billing? The same little shit that showed up in Strange New Worlds this week. Patton Oswalt.
Wow, astonishing.
So, everyone's like, who's he gonna play? We're all like, probably that goblin in the background, probably.
Yeah, the ass goblin. Then you got Ben Saunders. He's some leftist comic book like bullshit ideologue.
I wonder what gave that away. Look at those. Look at those. Wow, those thick rims.
Portland is really good at being up Portland's own ass and having a lot of academics.
Glasses in Portland.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then you got Ben Templesmith, who his big claim to fame is 30 Days a Night. He did Crashdown, which was kind of a ripoff of UFO thing. It's okay, but he also did what do we got? There are books that I'm getting. He also did some cover work for, Batman, I think Gotham After Midnight, which are really good. It's just interesting because they don't list off whoever put this marketing material together doesn't seem to know comics very well, but Ben Templesmith, I've probably got 3 or 4 issues of stuff for him to sign because he actually is a competent artist, I think, when he's like forced to do something. And then this is the number 2 person, and Gray's going to know this name, Brian Michael Bendis.
Bendis is coming.
You talked for a while. Tell me about Superman. Brian Michael Bendis, man.
It was the time when I was out of comics when he was really popular with Ultimate Spider-Man was the main one, wasn't it? Back in the day. But the big thing I remember from him, Brian and Salty, was that he was going to move from Marvel to DC, and they were like pumping it up. They were like hyping it for ages. Bendis is coming, and he came and he wrote Superman and he pissed everybody off.
Oh yeah,
no,
yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know why. I think it just like it wasn't a very good run.
How long is he still with DC, or what happened?
I am not at the moment. I think he's doing the occasional miniseries, but I don't know if he's got his own stuff. Like Salty. Maybe he's got any indie or Kickstarter stuff going.
I think he's got a couple indies, but you know what it is? They relaunched the Powers series. They're doing another run of that.
The Dark Horse, isn't it?
But I'm getting that signed, and that's another one where Bendis was working with Michael Avon Omling, who arguably did the best run of Red Sonja, and that started around 2004, 2005, and he stuck with that through about 30 issues. But if you're going to read Red Sonja, you can pretty much just read the start of his run up until when he stops, and then skip all that, and then start reading Red Sonja in 2023 under whatever that Lars, what is his name? You know what I'm talking about, that new run of Red Sonja that we both like, Gray. But Bendis is credited with two characters that are both controversial. The first one that's controversial is Miles Morales. I'm right about that, right, Gray?
Yeah.
Then, now you can think what you want about Miles Morales, but he created Ironheart. The character, the ghetto hood rat DEI insert ripoff of Tony Stark. And I don't like the character. I look at somebody like Bendis and I can separate the art from the artist, but those are two pretty big things. I don't have a problem with Miles Morales existing as long as he exists within his own universe.
Same here, yeah. Peter Parker. Not bothered at all.
A lot of people say like a lot of people I hear say Peter Parker is Spider-Man, Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So.
But there's a run that, and I'd love to hear, Gray, we should talk about it on your shows one time. Brian Michael Bendis, he did a comic book, which I think the new Marvel Doom movie is going to be loosely based on, and that's called Invincible Iron Man. And that goes back a couple of years. I think it's 2017, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was a 12-issue run where essentially Tony Stark and you got in Doctor Doom and all this stuff. But I've got a couple issues, and it's very hard to get series. In the printed trade paperback is always sold out. I hope they're going to do another one. But I really enjoyed that. It's one of Purple Valkyrie's favorite comic book runs ever. So I'm getting a couple issues of that signed. I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff by Bendis. I have several issues of Ultimate Spider-Man, including some keys, the first appearance of Venom, first appearance of Moon Knight, when Captain America, Thor, and Tony Stark help him. I think it's around issue 80 of Ultimate Spider-Man. But Bendis is another guy where I have 35 comics, and I've gone through them multiple times. I cannot take any more out. But Bendis also did Daredevil. It's some exceptional Daredevil. So I have a bunch of those. But you talk about Bendis, I mean, for a while, Gray. I don't mean to sit here.
No, again, I don't know. I don't know him. I was out of comics for years when he was really popular, so I missed most of his stuff. Did he create Jessica Jones? Was that one of his characters? That's what I thought. She's a pretty cool character.
Him working with David Mack, who's also going to this con. David Mack did a lot of the iconic covers for that run of Daredevil, and also ran and did a run of Daredevil himself. So,
have you read the Daredevil run by Bendis? Sorry, because I haven't. I don't know if it's any good.
I have. I've got it. I've got most of the floppies, or at least most of the good floppies in some of the story arcs, but it's one of those things where I just, there's only so much money that
between 2000 and 2006. Okay, wow, yeah, I was totally out there. That's when I was moving to Japan, so
I came back to this based upon recommendations from Max and other people, and picked these comics up when I started reading this again last year. So I kind of power dove into it and was like, holy shit, this is great. And but yeah, I left comics in the early 90s and then didn't come back until like a year ago. So but I'm aware of all these people's creations, and there are iconic covers that you can look at and find. But then you've got Kat Staggs. She's another one of those that she's done a lot of work on Wonder Woman. She also did work with John Carpenter on he did a series of comics. I want to say it was in the early 2000s. Like one was about a nuclear apocalypse and dystopia. They were not commercially or critically well received, but she did a lot of work with John Carpenter, and actually John Carpenter's doing another run with her. But currently she's doing covers for Terminator, the current release of that, which is not bad. It's okay. But I'm getting one cover by her signed of the current run of Terminator from Image. You got Chris Campagna, his thing, he did some work in the recent Daredevil, forgettable stuff with Ghost Rider. Not much of it very good. I don't actually think I'm getting anything signed by Chris Campagna. You've got this guy, Chris Enott. He does a lot of custom covers. He'll just create a cover and slap it on a book and then sell it on his website. I don't think it's right to say that he worked on Conan the Barbarian. He just did a cover. But Craig Russo, Hellboy, Batman 66. I'm getting him signing some stuff. Then you got this Daniel Crary. He's the former director of community engagement at Vault Comics. You've got a lot of these guys that are like hipsters within comics and the leftist comic book scene. So for whatever reason, they felt the need to put him in the show. Dave Warren, he's done a lot of animation work. So, Dilbert, Animaniacs, Simpsons, like that. Then you got David Mack, who does some of the most memorable watercolor covers ever. Talented artist. Did exactly what you said, Gray, talking about Jessica Jones. A ton of comic books for did Captain America.
I've got
Jessica
his
Jones.
Kabuki, just the first volume. It's fascinating. It's when it's his early work, very, very independent style, big Japanese influence.
Yeah, and you can
that take place in Japan.
Yeah. It's kind of. I think it's both Japan and America.
Okay. He also did covers. He worked closely with Neil Gaiman on when they did the serialization via comic book of American Gods. Which
that's right. He was doing the covers, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yep. So I've got a couple of those covers that he did because that book. I love that book. So. David Tulaski, another guy, does a lot of Pride covers. He is actually doing the covers for Batgirl right now, if memory serves. And some of the more, and I know that's a series you were reading, Gray, but I've got a couple covers from Batgirl. I'm going to have them sign. Erica Williams, I don't know, whatever. I think she does like album artwork for bands. You've got Eric Donovan. He's done a lot of indie weird comic stuff that like Memotic, which was sort of this hipster kind of comic book series. But he is doing work on Savage Sword of Conan selectively. He also did one cover of, I want to say Conan number 10. He did a cover of the comic book run, but you got Ethan Sachs right now. He's currently working on Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, which is it's out of all of the Marvel Star Wars books, it's the one that's most palatable, but it's written for kids, for young adults. He's actually a pretty decent writer, but a lot of his work is Star Wars stuff. I've got some of his other indie stuff, like I'm going to get 2 or 3 books signed by him. You got Jarrett Melendez. You can look at the picture yourself. He does nothing I want anything to do with. Jeremy Mom, this guy was just listed. I'm not going to get anything signed by him. I've seen his art. I think it's derivative of Better People. We'll say that. I think it's a very derivative style of Simon Bisley, who is at this con and who does better work. But John Bivens, I don't know who the hell this guy is. A lot of indie stuff. But then you got Joseph.
Looks like Chuck Wendig.
I know. Joseph Schmalke does a book series that I like, and it's called 7 Years of Darkness, and they're on year 3 now. Collect that series. It's kind of he's got a style where it's almost like woodcut gothic that he does, which I think is pretty cool. But I'm gonna get 4 number 1s signed by him. You got Justin Mason, who's a longtime Marvel artist. He does some really cool covers that over time, I've actually got 3 or 4 of them that he's done. His big work he worked on, he was in Venom. He did work with Marvel Zombies. He has the current run of Sentinels Gray that started last year, so I'm going to have him sign Sentinels number 1 of that.
Okay, cool.
Oh, look who's there. Oh, we haven't got.
Oh, we're getting there. Well, here's the thing. You can see all these other people. You know when these comic book artists are going to be there. And then you got good old Kelly Sue DeConnick, who can't be bothered to commit to where she's going to be at the con, even though this is her hometown. I'm getting one comic book signed by her, Gray, and it's because when I talked to Max about it, he's like, find the biggest piece of shit she ever wrote and have her sign it. So I went to my local comic book shop and I talked to this old dude and I said, what is the biggest piece of shit Kelly Sue DeConnick ever wrote? And he started laughing. He's like, that's an impossible question to answer. But I'm having her sign Carol Danvers in the Carol Corps, one of the worst comic books ever written, and I found it. So it's a Captain Marvel.
Like how bad written? Yeah. Explain.
It's so
explain
bad.
That.
It's so bad, Gray. You know, all the shill comic book review sites, even they don't like it. So that tells you how bad it's indefensible. Wow. Kyle Starks, I think you either love or you hate Kyle Starks.
He wrote a really good Peacemaker miniseries, like Peacemaker Tries Hard from last year or maybe the year before. That was really good.
Yeah, I liked his work in Creepshow too. I think he did what is it called?
He's doing a stalker horror series at the moment. I can't remember the name on top of my head. It's pretty cool. It's like, where do all the horror villains go when they're kind of not killing people?
Yeah. Something Boulevard or Cul-de-sac. It's Cul-de-sac.
Yeah, it's something cul-de-sac.
I've got
Monster Cul-de-sac
number 1 and then Monster Cul-de-sac, which was the sequel to that series. So I'm getting both number 1 signed by him. You got Laura Allred, who's obviously married to Michael Allred. Both of the Allreds, both Laura and Michael, both worked on the original Sandman. Going back to the early 90s run. Allred did illustration and Laura did colors. So I've got a couple of original books going back to the 90s, the Sandman special for them to sign. But also I've got a Silver Surfer number 1. She's a colorist that she did. And then, of course, Batman, I think 66, she did some coloring for. So Leah Williams, couldn't find anything. She does a lot of books that I would never read, like The Amazing Mary Jane, Gotham City Sirens. No interest. And then my number 3 person that I want to see at the comic book convention, Liam Sharp.
Liam Sharp, yeah. Great artist, fantastic covers. He does some incredible like painted work. You can see there in that cover. Starhenge though, Salty. I didn't read that. That was his kind of independent. Did you get it? Is it any good? It was very, very verbose. I remember the first issue. I didn't continue.
It's dated. I think if you read it, has like a picture, like imagining the world before, like what he did was a normal thing, you know, with the indie comic scene. I think it puts it into perspective, but I think it's looks great, but I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest with you. No. He did a series because he's a British artist that he actually moved to the United States not too long ago. He actually did what is it called? And I've got the comic. I got a UK comic. He did a series there that was incredibly popular in the early 90s. And like was really beloved there, but then struggling, which sounds weird with somebody like Liam Sharp, because like, I think if you read comic books, everybody knows his name, but it's interesting to read interviews with these comic book artists, because you're like, oh my God, that must be so amazing to be this like artist and everybody knows your name. And it's like, a lot of these people suffer with depression, self-doubt. They go through divorce. They struggle with substance abuse. They don't make good decisions with money, or they piss off the wrong people in comic books and get blacklisted, you know? And Liam Sharp definitely, I think, was plagued by demons, and I'm not going to say what they were, but I think self-doubt. He really felt, from all the articles I've read, he wanted to be more like Simon Bisley Gray, which is crazy when you look at like Liam Sharp's art, because Liam Sharp has done some of the most iconic comics out there, like Medieval Spawn and other stuff like that. I mean, just stuff like, if you're a comics books person, you're like, why would you feel that way, dude? Like, the work that you do is amazing, you know? But I'll move on. But I'm getting a bunch of stuff signed by Liam Sharp. The interesting thing about Liam is that he's also working on multiple issues of Savage Sword of Conan. Most recently, he was on issue 8, which was an outstanding issue. His name is all over that. And I think he's going to be in issue 10, which is going to be coming out soon, of course, with Jim Zub. I don't know who Mark Sparcario is. No idea. Then, of course, you got Matt Fraction. Matt Fraction, the big draw for him is on September 3rd, DC Comics is relaunching Batman. They're starting over with Batman all over again, #1 issue.
That's a 60s logo.
Yeah, well, this is a different logo here. It's all different, and Matt Fraction's taken over the series. Now, Matt Fraction's done a lot of work.
Brian, doesn't it? It does.
I've seen, and Gray, I'm sure you've probably seen some of the interiors out there. The book looks good. Will it be any good? I don't know. But
I don't know. I've heard mixed things from early reviews. Like some people seem to love it, some people are saying like, it was all right.
Yeah, but he had some interesting runs of the X-Men. I never read his what is it? The Superman Jimmy Olsen. I never read that. I got a couple. I think I have a #1 of his Iron Man run. Never read that. And then he did this monthly sex criminals book, which is just this stupid perverted leftist.
He's doing that with Chip Zdarsky, wasn't he? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So
bonkers,
literally, Salty.
Well, I was at my LCS today, and they're doing this thing now, Brian, where they're releasing special edition comic books in blind bags, so you don't know what cover you're going to get. And for this new Batman run, all of these Batmans, they're going to be foil covers, and they could be most of these comics, they'll have multiple covers, but there could be special art, there could be actually hand sketches on these. So it's pricey. It's $10 a blind bag. So I have 2 set aside for me, but those are the ones that I'm going to get signed by Matt Fraction when we're together next weekend. Cool. Michael Avon Omling, he of course did Powers like we talked about. I loved his work in he did great stuff in Judge Dredd, but I really loved his work in I am tired. It's been a long day. Red Sonja, CW with a sword. So he also did a bunch of work on. I'm totally having stream brain. Do you have any feelings about any of these guys, Gray? I'm doing all the work here, and I don't mean to monopolize the time.
Brian, how about you? It's your show.
I don't know any. I mean, I'm not. I'm going to learn. I'm learning right now, so I'm sitting back and relaxing and letting Salty.
Thanks for having me on. This is why I don't fucking YouTube. Yeah,
it might be a good time, to jump on with the new #1 Batman if you're interested. See what you think.
Yeah, I would say that's a good call. You got Michael Allred. I talked about. He's married to Laura Allred.
He's famous.
Long career in comics.
All the stuff he's done. Very distinctive style.
Yeah, it's. I wouldn't say it's primitive, but it's kind of like a mashup of 40s meets 60s.
Yeah, it is. I get a kind of 60s vibe to it.
Yep. But he's worked on some fairly famous comics aside from the original Sandman run. He did work on Batman 66, Silver Surfer. I think maybe probably the best run or well-known run with Dan Slott, if I'm remembering.
That was pretty cool. It was like a Silver Surfer imagined through the lens of Doctor Who kind of thing. Yeah, that was good.
Yep. That was good. So I'm excited to get some stuff signed by him. Mike Henderson, another indie guy. He did do some work on Daredevil. I'm getting Cable Love and Chrome signed by him, a newer book.
Okay.
And also Dead Man Logan. I'm getting that one done too. So
that was pretty good.
And Nailbiter.
Chrome. Yeah.
That
was pretty good.
Mindy Lee, I've already met her. She's another one of those people that I've already met. She's an acquired taste. I have one cover I'm going to get signed by her. I think it's a Poison Ivy cover. Just whatever. Mitch Gerrits, who I love his work. Mitch, I've got a couple the Batman run that he worked on. I'm going to get signed by him. Oh God, I don't have everything in front of me.
He's doing that there's a current miniseries of Peacemaker or Vigilante, which is ridiculously over the top, but it's quite funny.
Is it? I should pick that one up. I saw what they did to Peacemaker on the TV show, and I'm like, I can't do this. So I don't know. But Nathan Quarry, I don't know, another indie creator. I'm sure he's great. Then you got Patrick Reynolds, long career, worked on Hellboy. Bloodstained Teeth, which was a pretty good series. I'm going to say that. I'm going to have him sign the #1 of that. He's doing Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn. So I've got some of my favorite covers from that series. And Andy, you got Phil Hester. Guy goes way back there. Green Arrow. I've got a Green Arrow #1. I'm going to get him to sign. Gotham City #1. I'm going to get him to sign. I think his best work was in Swamp Thing in the 90s. So I've got like 5 or 6 issues to sign there. So
I remember the animated Swamp Thing. I wonder if it has anything to do with that from the 90s. I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You got Randy Emberling. I met him. He and I talked for like half an hour. Last time I met him. He's a wonderful guy. This is a guy who was a comic book artist for Marvel and did some of the most amazing Spider-Man work. Like,
how long has he been around?
Forever, going back to the 70s, 80s. But here's the thing. He sold, when he was having financial troubles, all of his original artwork for $25 a page.
Oh.
And so now has nothing he can really do with it, and can't really reprint it. And so now he has to go to all these cons, but he has copies or scans of all the stuff that he sold for nothing, and he'll sign it for you and sell it to you for $10. But I have a lot of great stuff that he did when he was working on the Amazing Spider-Man that I'm going to get him to sign. Rich Woodwell, I got one book by him. Rob Levin, he is a rabid SJW who works, at DC Comics. There's no other way to put it. I'm not going to search that man out for any reason. You got Ron Randall. Ron Randall, exceptional artist going back to the mid 70s. He worked on the original Swamp Thing run with Alan Moore for about 8 or 10 issues, Gray. So I've got the issues that and it's after Alan Moore took over too. So I'm getting several of those things signed, including the iconic American flag Swamp Thing cover. I've got one of those to get signed. So that's what I'm going to get him signed. He also did work on a comic book called Warlock, going back to the early 80s. So yeah. Rose Bash, hot commodity at Marvel. I think she's a very talented artist. All she does is covers, as far as I can tell, but I'm getting several things signed by her, including the most recent Fantastic Four, the new run of that, Gray, the #2 with the Invisible Woman cover that she does. It's outstanding. It's already sold out. So, I'm getting tired of hearing myself talk. Simon Bisley.
How many more are there, by the way? How many more?
There's a fucking lot, dude. That's why I'm like, let me just do this. Simon Bisley. Really excited to meet him. He did a lot of the Heavy Metal magazine covers, the original Heavy Metal fantasy comic book covers.
He's a legend, Britain.
He's a legend. He also did a bunch of covers for Constantine and Doom Patrol. And I've got 3 or 4 Doom Patrols. I'm going to get them signed. Sue Lee, I've met her. She's a very charming girl. Does work, I think, for DC now, but I bought some of her original art. Tony Fleeks works on Feral, one of the best comic book series to come out in the last 2 years. I've already got head sketches and custom art from him. I need him to sign the rest of my run because I haven't seen him since February. You got Troy Little, whatever. Wade Von Grawbadger, long-time inker for Marvel going way back. I've got a lot of things for him to sign. Zach Davison, his claim to fame really in comic books is he does a lot of translation for Japanese. And he worked on, Peach Momoko, her run with the X-Men. He did all the translations. So I'm going to have him sign that.
So I forget, inkers after, first they sketch and then they ink, or they pencil it and then they ink it and all that. Okay. Yeah. I'm when it comes to comic books and stuff, I'm plaid.
Yeah. Yep. And then Zach Kaplan, who's a pretty good writer and artist. So there you go. I that's a lot more work than I expected to do tonight. So you're welcome.
Thank you. So So I'm going to the Comic-Con. I'm gonna look at the comics and see if there's anything I'm potentially interested in, and hopefully I'll discover some stories or something. And of course I get to meet Salty, and hopefully he'll steer me in the right direction.
Nope, I'm just going to give you bad ideas and bad things to do with it.
Yes. So. Okay.
What's the main reason you're going, Brian? Is it to meet Salty, or it is? Come on.
That's the main kicker. But I went to Japan. I went to Osaka Comic-Con. So I got some nice art out of it. I still have my my Ginger Ninja Space Seed art and all that. So
Cool.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it looks like a lot more comic book artists and writers, or in the one you're going to with Salty than there is in the Tokyo or the Osaka one. It was really poor. They had a really small artist alley,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
There was a few
Tiny.
people there that I knew, but it was tiny.
Like they had this big room, and there was just like only like a quarter of the space was used.
Is that normal for Japanese? I mean, did they call them Comic Cons, or is it
They
anime?
do call them that, but it's
manga
mainly
cons?
celebrities meet and greet, get your photo taken, that kind of thing.
Okay. Are the voice actors for animes really famous there? Or
I think so.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're. I mean, I don't think they're like manga artists. They're just regular. They're just normal people. So I think they're more famous here. Like like from like I know a lot of anime voice actors, but
Oh, really?
they're not
No
really.
way.
Yeah, like Miyamoto himself could just ride his bike out of Nintendo and just have a normal day. He's not going to have like screeching fans all over him in
That's
Kyoto.
interesting.
So yeah, that's what at least that's what AC told me when we went to Kyoto. He's like, oh, these people are just treated like normal, normal people. Yeah. So
I was telling you in chat, along with Steve and Nathan and Alex, that I finally found an anime that I liked. And I haven't even told Gray this yet, but it's Sword of the Demon Hunter. And I think it's a great series. So
this is a manga of an anime. This is my number 2 anime of all time. I've seen a lot of anime. This is one of my favorite psychological thrillers of all time. This is a very ballsy series, and this the anime that's on Netflix is a very faithful adaptation of this. So
what's it called?
It's called Monster.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. Yeah, I don't have Netflix.
Yeah, so let me see if I can read this. This is very hard to read in this. So it says everyone faces uncertainty at some point in their lives. Even a brilliant surgeon like Kenzo Tenma is no exception. But there's no way for him to know that his decision to stop chasing professional success and instead concentrate on his oath to save people's lives will result in the birth of an abomination. The questions of good and evil now take on a more terrifyingly real dimension. Years later, in Germany, during the tumultuous post-reunification period, middle-aged childless couples are being killed one after another. The serial killer's identity is known. The reason why he kills are not are not known. Dr. Tenma sets out on a jury to find the killer's twin sister, who may hold some clues to solving the enigma of the monster. So this is this is an 8-volume series, 74-episode anime.
Wow.
It's very, very, it's almost a horror in a way, like by the choices of, shots, a lot of close-ups of the eye, what they do in anime to show fear is they show the eye really close up and they show the pupil like moving,
Yep.
like or vibrating,
quivering.
or it looks like it's quivering. Yeah. That's how they do
and
it.
And if it's a female character, she makes a little "I just squirted" noise.
Yeah. So here's an example of some of the artwork right here. So this is the main character right here.
Make yourself big, baby. Make yourself,
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. This is. This is a personal favorite. And if you have, I know you say you don't have Netflix. Well, Nerporeal might be able to help you out if you want to sample an episode or two. I would say
I'll watch one with you. I'll watch one with you.
The first 2 episodes, I think you should watch back to back because it really sets up the show. So there is a time gap though. There's a time gap after episode 2, and then episode 3. So yeah, so it takes place. Yeah, the first 2 episodes take place in like 1989, and then I think the rest of the series takes place in like 1995, 1996. So yeah, right after the unification. So this is the one anime that doesn't take place in Japan. It actually takes place in Germany, and all the different parts of Germany. Yeah. So yeah, it goes into like the politics of German politics of the early 90s and all that. So you hear about like child programming is a big thing, because this monster. I mean, we're trying to find out why this monster is a monster.
It's
child programming
like
and child abuse is a big theme in this one. So like I said, it gets ballsy. It's not like bad to the point where you're just gonna like get completely turned off by it, but there's some really heavy themes. Yeah. So yeah. And
I think Gray is online shopping. Make him talk about stuff. I've been doing all the heavy lifting. He just
I'm muted because I put the aircon on because I couldn't take it anymore. It's really noisy.
It's coming out on Blu-ray finally. That's what I'm looking
forward to. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching an old Japanese 1980s police drama called Abunai Deka. It's like Dangerous Cops, and it's so much fun. It's so stupid. I'm loving it. It's like, I think 1986.
Live action?
Yeah, live action.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's a comedy.
Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, college football's really kicked off. So I was actually watching the LSU.
Ooh, look at you, Salty, with your footy.
I love college football. I don't watch the NFL, but that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow is watching the Texas-Ohio game because I hate Ohio. So
Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Yeah, but I'm a huge college football fan, and I look forward to whenever it starts. And
I forget,
believe it or not, I actually got Purple Valkyrie into it too. She loves watching it.
I forget who's your team, your college football team.
Well, I root for the Wisconsin Badgers, but my team is the Washington State Cougars. So, which means I hate the Washington Huskies because that's the sort of whooshy college.
I thought you were Oxford, or is it Oxbridge? Oh no, wait a minute, that's universities.
You keep talking, Gray. Eventually,
you keep dreaming.
I
don't believe it.
Do you believe in love?
Hey, Gray, I thought I told you I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Oh shit! Hey, whatever you guys did in Japan, I don't want to hear about, man. Whoa!
After loving me, she can't love another. I don't believe it. My
Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's from Thriller. It's from Thriller. So
the girl is mine, Salty, mine.
I remember. I was watching that. I remember when that video debuted on MTV. So yeah.
I wasn't even alive.
Yeah.
Good night to you, Jacob.
Good night, Jacob.
So I figure I'd share some of the movies I watched the last couple of weeks. I've been watching.
Sweet.
I got MGM Plus on Roku, and I just started watching a crap ton of older movies. So I'll start with the most recent one that I watched. Have you gentlemen ever heard of An Officer and a Gentleman from 1982?
Oh yeah,
Richard Gere and Lou Gossett Jr.
Yeah,
lift me up where I belong.
Yes.
Eagles fly.
I love that movie. I love how it paid off. I loved how, like, we find out. I was like, how did they set up the fact that he knew martial arts? And then I remember the beginning of the movie when he's a kid in the Philippines. He gets beat up by three Filipino kids, that bullies that use martial arts on him. So that made sense. And I loved how, like, he was like the Lou Gossett Jr. best part of the movie. He's just he's not only is he not an idiot, but like he's just on his ass the entire movie,
like
yelling at him, trying to get. It's like, hey, he's like, you're gonna quit, and he just puts him through the ringer. And then, like, there's a point where Richard Gere breaks down. He's like, I have nowhere to go. And I was so moved by
when that movie came out. I forget what year it was, but it was a cultural
82.
phenomenon. Yeah. So I was 12. It was a cultural phenomenon. Everything was about that movie. It made Deborah Winger.
Yes.
In a lot of ways. And it cemented Richard Gere, who earlier in the 80s had American Gigolo, as this incredible sex symbol. And then I forget who it was, the actor that played his friend who hung himself.
David Keith. Yeah, that was, oh my gosh. So I remember
me.
That was dark, wasn't it? Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, movies back in the early 80s, in the 70s,
No punches pulled.
had
They
they
didn't pull
didn't
the
pull
punches.
They put some heavy shit in there.
Boom.
And
You're out.
the thing was, I mean, the reason that happened was like they put him through a test, you know, that to not wear oxygen, and he just didn't put on the mask. And what do they call it, where they
DOR, discharge on
DOR.
request.
Yeah.
Well, this was the problem in the United States in the 70s, because of what the government did to our troops in Vietnam. People did not want to join the military. And they would do this thing where they'd accept people off the street and turn them into what that officer candidate school was, which was an 8-week wonder. But if you didn't hack it, you could get a DOR, a discharge on request. And so that's, you know, like the fact that he quit, that woman lied and said she was pregnant to entrap him to get out of that white trash small town. I grew up with people like that who would do shit like that.
Yes.
I mean, people are fucking terrible. Women especially are fucking terrible.
Yeah,
when you have something, they will use you. Salty's gonna stop talking. But yeah.
Yeah, and I like, you know, I've been reading up stories on men that have been, you know, the victims of that type of thing, and it's heartbreaking. I was wondering because so I knew about that going into the movie, because my dad had the VHS, so that was one of the few VHSs that my dad had stored up in the basement that I actually did not watch.
That movie. Everybody loved that movie.
I did not watch that one. I just thought, oh, this is I thought it was a romance movie. And it is a romance movie. But when I was a kid, I wasn't interested. I mean, I looked at like my dad's other movies. He had Escape from New York. He had Halloween, 1978. He had Death Wish 2. That's how I got introduced to Death Wish. Was he had Death Wish 2 in the basement. So, but he had that movie, and he was watching it one day, and I saw the scene with David Keith, you know, hanging himself. And I didn't know the context. So going into this movie, I was like, okay, something's going to happen that's going to make him hang himself. So watching it this last week, and I thought it was going to be him like being dismissed from the military and having no future. No, it didn't happen that way. It would, I mean, and I was like, okay. Then they bring up pregnancy. I was like, okay, maybe she loses the baby, or maybe she dies or something. No, that didn't happen. She lied. She manipulated him. So the reason, and what's weird is she fucking did this to him. I think the reason that he failed that test was because he was preoccupied thinking about having a kid.
I think you're right, Brian.
I think that's what happened. And he failed that, and then he DOR'd, and he tells her, I want to take care of the kid. Let's go. I'll work at JCPenney. I'll be I'll be a manager before you know it. And she's like, she's like, no,
I want to be an officer's wife.
Why would you do that?
Yeah,
I lied. There was no kid.
Yep.
And then that scene, and what's funny was that scene was another payoff from an earlier when we learned that, you know, Richard Gere's mother committed suicide and all that, and he's like, oh, this happened to me again and all that. And I was just, this is like heartbreaking. So
well, I mean, you know, all of these great movies, regardless of what era they came out, this is arguably like a Greek tragedy. I mean, you could trace this back to is it Euripides? I mean, just all of these things where people have these fatal flaws, or these things happen, or they're the architects of their own doom. That's why these stories, you know, stick with us. That movie's 40, almost 45 years old.
Yeah.
It's just, but you can watch that, and anybody can relate to that movie 40 years later.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm not even in the military, and I loved how it ended. So like right after all that shit went down, this was like the last part of the movie. He needs to get all this shit off of his chest. And so he's like, sir, you know, while Lou Gossett Jr. is, you know, doing other stuff, he's like, sir, I need you now. And he's like, we're going to fight. And so they have the little fight, and he gets it all out of the system. And then the end of the movie, he goes, when he's graduating, he's like, I wouldn't have done this without you. And because Lou Gossett Jr. was about to break down, like, get the hell out of here, dude.
I know.
And then he looks back and he sees Lou Gossett Jr., you know, gunnery sergeant, doing the same thing to the next group of recruits, and he's doing it, smiling. And then he goes to the factory, and of course, Family Guy made fun of it. You know, he's carrying Deborah Winger on. I was like, okay, all right. All right. It was such a feel, even
movie.
though all that tragedy happened, it was such a feel good ending. Like it just, I felt really good after watching it. So, but yeah, that's one movie that's one movie I really enjoyed watching this the week. And I watched another movie. I watched a second movie this week. 90 minutes of sheer brilliance. Probably the greatest movie ever made. Also came out in the mid 80s. Death Wish 3. Death Wish 3, greatest movie ever made. Charles Bronson is just a cannon, just killing gang. It's like a fantasy. Like it's the final scene in that movie. Like the whole thing is building up. There's this gang that's terrifying. There's terrifying all these elderly and innocent families in this New York neighborhood, probably Brooklyn or something. And the gang is like big. It's like bigger than the Warriors, like all the gangs in the Warriors combined. That's how crazy it is. And like
is that the one with Deanna Troy?
You see black brown face Marina Sirtis. Like they literally put like what do you call that? Shoe polish on her.
Really?
And you got to see some.
I can't remember that.
You got to see.
She got a big bush.
You got to see some person. You got to see quite a bit of personality from her.
Tatas.
And then she just died.
Yeah.
But the best part was the best two parts was the first couple kills he does. So these guys are so evil. These gangs are so evil and bad. They're raping. They're breaking into people's houses. So Paul Kersey in this movie, I don't think he's an architect anymore, but he's like a superhero that has like a never-ending cash flow. So he just buys a car with cash and just takes it over to where like he's staying and just leaves it there waiting. It's just to bait the gangs to come out so that he can, so they're stealing everything from the car. He's eating stuffed cabbage with the Jewish couple, Jewish couple and his other buddy, played by what's his name, Martin Balsam. He's in the movie. He has this big cannon, this Gatling gun in his closet, and it's like, what's the problem? Like, what's the problem? We're stealing the car. What's it to you?
Yeah.
Well, it's my car. Well, now you're gonna die. And then they take out the switchblades, just takes out the gun and shoots them.
Oh, I know. That's how you handle problems. Yeah. I know when we're in Portland,
you bait them.
I love it. Well, cops were using that. They were actually using bait cars where people would try and get in and the doors would lock and they couldn't get out. I love that. I love watching that footage of the diversity.
Yeah.
I love it. And then going to jail.
Yeah, and then they actually had the nerve. So they get broken in. The elderly Jewish couple that served them the stuffed cabbage, they brandish a gun, and there's a scene where the police just come in and are like, "You gotta give us the gun, or we're gonna take you to jail." And so you're like, "Oh, your typical, city, law and all that." So, which a lot of these movies, made that was a big theme in a lot of movies. I mean, going back to Dirty Harry and all that. So it's just, and it's still a thing to this day. Like, it's just it's gotten they've gotten a bad rap. Rule
number one of Fight Club: don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, that was another one I watched too.
What you got? People don't need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Never ever need to talk about it. Just make sure it's there when you need it.
Yeah. So, So, I've been like, I haven't been watching entertainment. I've just been so uninterested in new stuff and new films and even new video games and just consuming stuff in general. But it was nice. It was nice watching older stuff. Getting something out of them. And I'll probably keep doing. I'll probably watch some shows. I know. What's funny is I'm a big Alien fan. Haven't watched Alien Earth yet.
I've watched enough of it not to want to watch anymore. I'm gonna say that. So, what about you, Gray? Did you watch it? Did you like it?
No, I'm not. I can't get access to it. I'm not gonna subscribe to it. So,
on Hulu, I don't blame you. So,
Yeah.
um,
You know what they're having at my local theater, in that I was going to go see tonight until you reminded me that we were streaming tonight, because it started at 7, is they're showing the Jaws 50th anniversary remaster. And they have
oh,
Jaws on the big screen, and then they have the Jaws movie remastered 3D. So they have two theaters showing a 50-year-old movie. Okay. Like, my movie theater has ran all of these movies that have come out that no one has gone to see. It's still playing Fantastic Four. I think it's still playing Lilo and Stitch, but Superman's gone, Freaky Friday's gone. Like, everything that's come out literally is gone within a week. And we are the only movie theater here within like an hour's drive. Seriously, we're the only fourplex probably in a 150-mile drive. So everybody comes to where I am to go to the movies. It's crazy. Like one weekend, like a Friday, the parking lot will be totally full. And then after that, but it's just been crazy to watch all the normies, people who never watch YouTube and aren't part of the culture wars, watch how these general audiences are feeling just like we do, like,
yeah.
fuck you, Hollywood,
I
I
mean,
mean, and it's wild. It's wild to watch.
I did not like the Superman movie at all, and I
Neither
was
do you.
bored watching it. I'm like, what's the point of this? Like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
What's the arc? And it was just the whole movie was just a joke and a bad one. So, yeah. So and that's all I'm going to say about it. And I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not really. I don't know if you heard, but they're actually going forward with a Star Wars movie production. It's called Starfighter. I have no idea what it's about, but I think it's the
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling one.
yeah.
So
Well, not just Ryan Gosling. There are some other named actors and actresses that are going to be in it as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if what's her name is it? It's the one who won the lawsuit against Disney.
Gina Carano.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Carano's in that.
I hope she's not. I would not.
But,
Guys,
you know,
I've got to bounce.
With them.
It's lunchtime here, and then we've got
Oh,
family
cheers.
plans.
All right,
And,
so
like,
Gray, what's going on with
I
the?
told you about that. You know about that.
Yeah,
Say again.
Gray, what's going on with the before you go?
Oh, nothing, mate. I just dropped a couple of comic book reviews the first time in a while, so they're on the channel if you want to check them out. And yeah,
Any
hope to catch up
any
soon.
late night or well, actually no, it's not. It's late night for us, but like early afternoon
No, it's like
for
I say,
you.
it's 10 past 12 here in the
Late night.
afternoon, so I've got a busy afternoon, so I've got to
All right.
bounce.
Okay. All right.
Catch
Gray.
you later.
Take care.
See you, Gray. Yeah. But no, I think it's great that you're finding all these movies, from the 70s and 80s. That's what I've been doing. I mean, I watch a lot of Hammer horror movies. Like, I watch a
I've
lot of old 50s, 60s, 40s movies, and they're great. They're
yeah,
great.
I've not. I'll be honest. Hammer horror is something that's evaded me. I finally watched Dracula. I had Purple Valkyrie on for that serial horror.
Hi, Steve.
And oh yeah, what's up, Steve? How you doing? Um, yeah, and then I saw when I took my car in for maintenance and all that, they were playing on WCIU Svengoolie. They were playing the Mummy with Peter Cushing, and then of course the Mummy was Christopher Lee. So
Yeah, that's an interesting take on it. I think that's from 55 or 58. The original Mummy, going back to, I think it's
30s, Boris
39,
Karloff.
30. Yeah,
I saw
it's
that.
outstanding. It is, for one thing, the makeup and the effects and the pacing and the story, they're
Yeah.
simply outstanding.
Did you like the Brendan Fraser Mummy?
Of course I did. I have it on
Okay. All right.
Blu-ray. I
Good.
love those movies. I saw all of them in the theater, including that thing with the Rock. What is it? Scorpion King.
King.
Are you kidding me? I love Brendan Fraser.
I was expecting this. I was expecting The Rock to be more in The Mummy Returns, and what we got, we see clips of him.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the movie, we see like the Scorpion King and the worst CGI imaginable with The Rock's face on it. I was just like,
I tell you what, though, at the time, when that movie came out, that was fairly cutting edge. When I saw it,
I didn't even like it then. I was 17.
to me, it was just like, okay, well, you know what? We're gonna see Brendan Fraser beat the shit out of mummies again. That's all that I cared about.
I think my favorite part was like the mummy in the first movie. The mummy screams at him, and then he screams back at the mummy.
Yeah, I know.
And then, of course, then there was the dude. There was the dude with all the different medallions. So he had the cross. He had
Oh
the Star
yeah,
David,
he's got the cross and the Star
crescent,
David,
the Islamic crescent,
Buddha, all of it. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I forgot like how big of a body count was that first movie. Like all those guys that were there like got their soul sucked out of them.
Well, and they were ripped apart. I mean, like getting squashed or like having their eyeballs stole or their tongues ripped out. I mean,
because he was he's recreating his rebuilding his body. Yeah, getting some.
I do recommend it, Brian. I think I honestly, because I have all those movies and I got the remasters of all of the Universal horror. So you got Frankenstein, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, and then of course one of my favorite, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I still have not seen that one. I still have
Brian,
not seen,
I will
isn't
make
that is that the one with
isn't
that the one with who plays the creature from Black Lagoon? What's his name from Gunsmoke? What's his name?
I don't know. I don't know. But there's a really hot chick.
James Arness.
Great story.
Wasn't it James Arness or was it someone else?
I don't think so, unless he was maybe in a sequel. But you never, it's just a mummy in a mask. But it's just really well done. But like I was saying, I have the 4K restoration of all of the Universal, all of those original black and white movies. It's absolutely worth getting. Even just the Blu-rays are worth getting. But these movies, when they are restored and they're not shitty copies, like on broadcast TV or VHS, it is astonishing what these people behind the camera and the lighting people and the effects that they used. I mean, this was stuff that my grandfather was born in 1908, so he would have been like 30 when this movie came out or something like that. And how good these creatures look with nothing but practical effects and nothing but acting, and the way that they knew how to light black and white to create shadow and depth. It's a masterclass in cinema. You watch these movies, and if like I gush over them, you don't have to like them, but I think once you see them, you will fall in love with them. You absolutely will fall in love with them.
You'd be surprised. You know how I got introduced to Bela Lugosi? I rented Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That's how I first saw and learned who Bela Lugosi was.
Heroin addict.
Oh, was he?
Oh yeah, big old flaming homosexual and a heroin addict, and I think he died of syphilis or something. But very talented, very loving man. At one time, one of the most wealthiest men in Hollywood, because of his work with Universal Pictures for the Universal Monsters.
Good. Yeah, must have a good agent and negotiate good. Good pay. Oh, okay.
Just I mean, I love these movies, and the more that, and Steve Prophet is in the chat, but I mean, we're all in the same text group, and his lament of there's really, when is somebody going to make something good? Well, I mean, like we're not through with woke yet, and I don't think Hollywood is going to stop. And I said that last year, but we do have this wealth of really great things, and for me, I'm spending a hell of a lot of time outside. I am out in the woods about doing stuff, and then of course I jumped back into my love of comic books and stuff like that. And but yeah, it does suck because all of us want a good Peacemaker. All of us want a decent Aliens series. All of us want just a decent Red Sonja movie that isn't directed by a trans woman. I say these things out loud and I still just laugh because I don't spend all of my time being pissed off about Hollywood. It's not that I've accepted it, it's not that I gave up, but what I've done is it's like I look at Hollywood like junkies on the street. And one of the things when I used to help people go through recovery and I used to take friends to AA, and they teach you is that you offer someone help once. You don't beat them over the head with it, and if they don't accept it, there's a certain point you have to walk away. from them. And it's not being cruel, but that's how I feel about Hollywood. Hollywood is a junkie whore who is selling her sphincter to every degenerate bum who comes along with $5. And those bums happen to be globalists pushing all of the messages, the same messages that resulted in that horrifying thing that happened in Minneapolis yesterday,
Yeah.
And at a certain point, the way that I can fight against that is to not let it into my head anymore. And that's the place that I'm living is Hollywood can fuck off.
Yeah. I think the
really,
worst thing you can do is, I know a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, you have to constantly call them out. Well, if you constantly call them out, you're giving them
attention.
You're giving them attention. You're giving them
You're letting them hear.
Yeah. And and you're expecting, I mean, I'll be honest, if the institution fell, it would mean nothing to me because, I mean, there's still plenty of stuff. There's more than plenty of stuff to discover that came out before. And if we ran out of movies, like if Star Trek was, I'll be honest, like I've gone to the
we'll never run out of movies.
Yeah.
We might have to watch the same one again, but we have so many great movies out there,
Love lift us. Well, there we go. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm not gonna give money and time and
Max. Good comment.
Hi, Max. I got you can't keep gotta talk about the good stuff. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I don't want to talk about the bad stuff.
It's behind us.
Yeah, I watched the Wheel of Prime. I don't even think. Did you even watch the new season of Wheel of Prime? I'm assuming you
No, didn't. I dipped out 2/3 of the way into season 2 because I had this epiphany when we were on a live stream with Steve. Which is just like what I'm watching is not entertainment. What I'm watching is not written for a human being. What I'm watching is not written for a 50-year-old Gen X guy who grew up in the 20th century. I'm watching a 21st century product for a modern audience whose brain was engineered to not work the way every other generation before them did. And that's what we're seeing in entertainment. It's poison.
I watched out of solidarity with Steve and White Cloaks, all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I love talking to them. I love having them on Shoporial and doing the book clubs, all that. I'm almost halfway through Winter's Heart right now.
Oh no, I watch you with Teresa.
It's I wish I liked the series better, but I'm still set to finish. I'm very slow with it because of interest. But like I just hope I'm hoping for all those guys that they just forget the Wheel of Prime series and just
they've destroyed it.
I know Dane's been destroying it as his alter ego on X. So there's so much wrong with that series, but I just hope that there's a point where I just want that series deserves to be forgotten, and hopefully
it will be
in the future. Somebody will come along or somebody will try to do right. There'll be like a reset and somebody will try to do right and try to adapt what even though I have an issue. I have some issues with the books. I'd rather have them adapt what Robert Jordan wrote.
I think the way that's going to happen is it's going to be fan done. It's going to be fan done AI, and it's going to be done in a really faithful way that will probably stick really close to the story. And some people will love it, and some people will think, well, they could have did better. But the final product, and I do believe this, will actually be what Robert Jordan intended, at least one person's vision of it, as opposed to Rafe Judkins and the toolbag executives at Amazon writing a fantasy vehicle that they tried to sell as the next Game of Thrones with Rosamund Pike starring in it. And, there's no way you can make a television show that even vaguely approximates let's just say the first 2 books of the Wheel of Time, if that's the model that you're going to work with under. You don't age their characters up. You fundamentally change the arc of these characters as Jordan writ them and their maturation process, the importance of the romances and other things like that. So
Yeah. So that was one of the few things I hate watched with everybody.
I don't hate watch anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't even want to. I just don't have the. I mean, I have less time to watch stuff because I work. I work more. I work a lot of hours, and I spend a lot of my time commuting, back and forth. So by the time I'm home, I'll be up for I'll eat dinner. I'll be up for an hour, and I'll fall asleep. I mean, yeah, Japan has kind of messed up my sleep schedule. So
I get it.
I'm up at like 1 a.m. I'm up at like 1 a.m. I take a nap and I get up and I'm like, it's 1 a.m. and I got nothing to do. So I watch stuff or I read or something, and I go for late night walks, because I'm in the good part of Chicago, so it's very quiet around here. But speaking of Chicago, a lot of people are freaking out because of what a certain president.
Oh no! Stop the carjacking! Oh no! Stop the rapes! Oh my God! Stop people stealing everything! Your mayor belongs in prison. I want him thrown into a shipping container and taken out into the ocean and dumped in it. That's the place where we cannot coexist with these people.
Who it was who was responsible? The teachers union was responsible for getting him elected.
So. Oh, believe me, dude, I am well aware of all of the mechanics of this and where the USAID money and all that other shit went. I mean, this is why people would hear me say things on live streams. It's like, oh, don't talk about trans, or if you're just so negative about everything. No, Salty is not. Salty is telling you the truth. The problem is the truth is so fucking ridiculous and so insane. No one could make these things up. And here you are, you're saying these things. You know them to be true. This is the world we live in now. We cannot coexist with these people. We can't. So.
There's just there has to. I mean, if they want to be taken seriously, they have there's a lot of work they have to do to
I just want a big wall built up. Just they can go on that side of the wall and eat each other, and their whole country can turn into Portland, and then we'll go back to having a nice Western first world civilization like that. That's where I'm at,
Yeah. So, when it comes to address Mags's thing, chat right here, like Disney has just lost so much. Disney has lost so much faith, or Disney has lost so much trust in people. I will not watch any more Disney Star Wars. Like that is, I've been over that for a while. I did watch Andor season 2, and I liked season 2 quite a bit. Okay. I don't blame people if they didn't watch it. Some people, I'm out
on all of it.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, but I will not see the new Starfighter movie. I am not interested in whatever else Disney comes up with. So yeah, I'm good with Disney Star Wars. I'm okay with basically I'm okay if if Star Trek was taken away, like even the original series, like all of it was taken away, I could never watch it again. I'd be okay with it. I'd be able to let it go.
I have it all in physical media, everything that I want and I love. I mean, I've been preparing for that for a long time. It's not just an empty platitude. If I love something, I want to support the creatives behind it, and I buy the physical media. It's the same thing with music I buy on record or on CD. It's the same thing with Blu-rays that I'll buy. It's I do not trust these streaming companies and even YouTube is using AI to change videos that people make without their knowledge, where they can just go in and change things that they find problematic, or they can put things in the sky like strange lines, which were never there in the 70s or 80s, into those movies, and they could just I am not playing this game. Like, I'm not doing this shit. I'm only subscribed to Amazon, and it's because I live in the middle of nowhere and I want free shipping. you know,
Mhm.
and I don't subscribe to any other streaming service at all.
Yeah, I've only I got rid of I ended one credit card. I got a whole bunch of different ones. So I've been slowly, you know, reactivating some streamers. There's a lot that I forgot that I even had. So but yeah, the MGM Plus is one that I've been really enjoying watching older movies. The Paramount Plus thing I got back for watching some Star Trek and I forget what was the other one that I reacted. Oh, I've had HBO for a while, so HBO is
I
still
had
on
that
my thing.
for the months that we covered House of the Dragon, then I canceled because I'm like, I don't like. I tried watching some of the DC animated stuff that came with it, and I watched all of that, and then I actually bought some of those movies on Blu-ray, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like I have everything I want to watch. You know,
Are
I
you
just get
gonna?
my ass off the sofa and put the disc in. You
Are
know,
you totally done with like the Game of Thrones universe or just House of the Dragon?
I think the Game of Thrones universe is done with me. I think it's done with anybody who is over a certain age and or certain critical thinking skill level and intelligence quotient. I don't know what they're doing with House of the Dragon other than they've turned it into a girl brand. You
It should
know,
have
I
been.
mean, I
It should have been 2 seasons, and it should have been fast paced. Every episode should have been, you
it
know,
was terrible. I mean, even Teresa, even Ms. Martin Muses was losing her shit on that show because it was
yeah,
just so unfaithful. Number one, unfaithful to source material and so
yeah.
poorly done. And the narrative that you were there, the narrative they created, it made no fucking sense in what they put on the screen, you
Nope,
know?
none.
So
So, yeah. They are coming out. They are adapting Duncan Egg. The problem is, like with the main series, Song of Ice and Fire, it's incomplete. There's only 3 short
oh, I'm sure
stories.
he'll finish it. He'll finish it.
He'll
Just like
finish.
Winds of Winter.
Yeah,
Oh
he
yeah.
said, yeah, I'll finish.
Oh dude.
I'll write the She Wolves of Winterfell or the River Run short story that he's been promising for 20 years now. After he finishes Winds of Winter. Wow.
Well, what was it? Wasn't it in our text group? WonderCon was in Seattle, and it's a very pretentious leftist literary convention. It's not a comic book convention. It's a
Uh,
whole lot of leftist literature people that get together and fist themselves and put their tongue up other people's elementary orifices. But didn't I think what's his name was there and he got called out. Why didn't you George R. R. Martin, why isn't he finishing the book? And I forget what his response was. Didn't you see that, Brian, where somebody called him out?
I saw that. I remember like the audience was booing. I was just like, you guys are
Well, and somebody said, "Is when you're dead, is Brandon Sanderson going to finish your series?" Just like with Robert Jordan, and I've been saying that in jest
you
for
know,
years.
that's
But
how I found out.
yeah,
That's how I found out who Robert Jordan was because I read
yeah,
George's famous My
yes.
Detractors entry in his journal. And he's like, you're worried I'm going to pull Robert Jordan, deny you your book. Well, okay, can I go to the bathroom at least? That's why I first heard about it. And then
I tell you what, it's the world's smallest, tiniest violin. And I'm over George R. R. Martin. He lost me at a certain point, and I forget which book it was, if it was book 5 or 6. He literally killed off anybody that I cared about, and I was just like, I'm fucking done. Like I'm done. Like I'm done. I get it. You are the inverse of Tolkien. I get it. You're blowing up conventional fantasy expectations. But there's a certain point where you have to keep a hero's journey. And when you lose the hero's journey, where you lose a through line of a character or a family or something, I just don't fucking care anymore. Like I'm done. I don't care. I don't even know. I don't remember the names of who these new people are that you haven't murdered yet. And I'm done. I'm just done.
he did introduce a character, and then the character goes as a suitor to Daenerys, and then he gets burned by one of her dragons. It was Quentin Martell in book 5.
Oh,
so they
introduced
introduced him just for him to die and all that. So
I think I remember. I think I made it that far. Yeah, it was just everybody
that did not make it into the show. Yeah.
Everybody was dead.
Yeah, like, well, and then the show did it worse. The show, like the books didn't kill off nearly as many people as the show did. Like the show killed off Sir Barristan for no reason. He's supposed to be leading. He's supposed to be leading the the defense of the city with Daenerys gone. She rides off in the dragon. He's leading. He's now the point of view in Marine, and he's the one that like there's a sample chapter of Winds of Winter where he goes into battle on horseback against all the slaver armies and all that. So that's what I was hoping to see, and I was hoping to see a very large scale battle, and they reduced it to like just Daenerys being girl boss. I mean, it was cool looking at it, but it was still, like there was an opportunity. They could like Dan and Dave. There was an opportunity for like a really large scale battle.
Dude, there's so much water under that bridge, and those people have irredeemably destroyed what could have been. I still have never watched one episode of that show, and I hear it's really great. I read the books.
The first season one. Season one has two. So, A Game of Thrones was a great book. Season one had additional like Littlefinger brothel, lots of sex scenes, so a lot of boobs, and it was almost a softcore porn that kind of interrupted the story for I guess to give everybody the tingle and all that. So, which I think kind of detracted, but seasons
I'm a fan.
Seasons 1
through
4,
hot chicks on screen, tits and boobs and fake bushes. I'm a fan. I don't need to see men's junk flying all over the screen.
That was season 6, but yeah.
No, I don't need to see flopping cocks. Apparently, that was a big Peacemaker was apparently all flopping cocks.
So I read that. I read the series. I've read the 5 books. I really enjoyed them. I got very interested in the world. I was interested in the characters. I was very invested in what was going on, especially the Stark family. Especially they're going through all that. They were going through all that. Yeah. They're going through all that trauma. They were split up. I wanted them to get back together. I wanted to see a light at the end of the tunnel. And this was before season 8. So I mean, this was before we've kind of learned how it's supposed to end. So yeah, so I did. I mean, I still enjoyed reading them. I actually reread all 5 books. I got more out of it. So like how all you guys really enjoy rereading the Wheel of Time. Well, that's how I was with Song of Ice and Fire. Like I
don't know if I'll ever read them again. I don't know if I'll ever read them again, Brian, because of what I know now.
Yeah.
And what they did with the TV show, which is weird, right? I don't feel like that way about any fantasy series. Like they never made Lord of the Rings anything. They made whatever Amazon, it wasn't even Tolkien. Horseshit. It doesn't interfere in any way whatsoever with my enjoyment of Tolkien's works. Why I quit, part of why I quit watching Wheel of Time was because I started to see Rosamund Pike, her face for Moiraine. And that was part of me going, I need to stop doing this, because the show isn't just wasting my time. It's also sabotaging my own headcanon and my experience of Robert Jordan. And I think, I think that's the greatest danger with this. But when it comes to what you were talking about with Game of Thrones, I think I have so much bad will and so much negativity toward how the show was treated, not just Game of Thrones at the last couple seasons, but I liked House of the Dragon first season, but what they did with the second season, I don't understand. Like you got me to give you the benefit of the doubt. I stuck through the slow episodes of season 1. Mm-hmm. I come into season 2 and it's Days of Our Lives. I mean, this is like made for, I don't know who, like white millennial women with brain damage who were on TikTok. I mean, like who the fuck is this made for?
Like there was one like episode that was important. It was the one with the what's her name on the dragon, and then she falls and all that. And that was it. There was nothing else. Like there's so many other things going on. This is a major war, and they didn't do anything with it. They did nothing with it whatsoever. So I don't know.
Mags is going crazy too. There's that one she says in the fact that George R.R. Martin won't complete his series, basically not even saying anything about the show's ending just makes me... Well, and then he shit all over HBO. Like, did you see that? He shit all over HBO for what they did to the House of the Dragon season 2. And it's just like okay,
then don't. Yeah, well, I mean, what do you expect, dude? I mean,
well, I mean, again, like I'm not in Hollywood. I'm not a multi-millionaire. I'm not 70 years old. Who wrote this series has had everybody tonguing my brown ring for 2 decades.
yeah.
You know, I'll give him a little bit of grace, but that doesn't mean I'm going to forgive or I'm going to indulge in his excuses. I'm not. I'm just going to say, you know what? I appreciate the work that you've done. I respect you for that. If you sound like a daft leftist cunt, I'm going to call you out on that, but I'm still going to appreciate what you've done. You know, Neil Gaiman is a whole other story with what he did with Sandman, and if Gray was still on the stream, I think that would be different. But you know, I still hold Neil Gaiman in extraordinarily high regard for the work that he's done. American Gods is still one of my favorite books that I read at least once a year, if not twice a year. You know, Anastasia Boy is another one.
Did you watch the show? Was that any good?
No,
American
no.
Gods? No.
I generally don't watch these shows. Like I tried to watch The Sandman, and it was like, no. I watched 5 minutes of American Gods on Amazon, and I was like, this is not the story. It looks like the story. You have really great casting, but then you had to make it about my social justice bullshit in 2023 or whenever the fuck it came out. And what Neil Gaiman did in his book doesn't. You don't need a bad television adaptation. You just need to read the book, which again I highly recommend. And the comic book series isn't bad. That's they did an adaptation of that by written or illustrated by David Mack, who's going to be at Portland City Comic Con. I'm going to have some of those signed too. But
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I might continue House of the Dragon. I haven't made up my mind about that. I'm definitely gonna try Night of the Seven Kingdoms when it comes out. I think they delayed it to 2026. So that and
reshoots not a good sign.
Yeah,
That's reshoots.
yeah.
That's what that means, you know.
Yeah. So, but I think it's a good place to. This is a good place to stop. So
I know. I hope there's some college football still going. I left the LSU. Who are they playing? LSU in is it not Boise? I don't know, but I'm a huge college football guy, so I'll go watch that game.
Okay. So we got anything going on, Salty? Obviously,
I'm gonna meet your Chicago ass in Portland next Thursday. So
I know.
I'm going to be driving up on Thursday, stopping in Olympia at a big LCS to pick up some of my Matt Fraction #1 blind bags, and then go down to the overly ridiculous expensive hotel in Portland, which charges you $25 a night as a service fee for staying in the city of Portland. They don't tell you that until they get there. Just be aware of that, Brian. That's that leftist commie shit in action. They just the $25 night tax for the privilege of staying in Portland. And then it's going to cost probably $150 to park for 3 nights to go to this Comic-Con. But that's okay. That's all right. I have nothing better to do but just give my money to leftist shithole states like Oregon. So we'll do that next weekend. So
I forget. Is the Comic-Con also in the
I'm bringing
hotel?
bear mace. You think I'm kidding? I keep bear mace on my backpack that I hike with. I keep bear mace and other things.
So are you flying? Are you flying? Or are you driving from?
Dude, it's 4 hours away, man. It would take me just as long to drive to Seattle as it would to get on an airplane and cost me $1 million. It's like 4.5 hours from where I am. You got to remember where I am. The mountains, man. There's mountains in Western Washington. Like Seattle is right here. Seattle's right here. There's this whole other part of Washington over here nobody thinks about. Seattle's 1 million miles away from me. So
I forget. Isn't that like aren't you like? Isn't that like all national park where you're at?
Yeah, I live in the Olympic National Park. Yeah. This is the last town of like 10,000 people, and then it's nothing. It's bears and cougars and elk, and then there's the Maca Reservation on Nia Point, the westernmost point of the continental United States, which is beautiful.
Bears and cougars, are they pretty?
Oh, well, see that of course they're literal cougars. There was a cougar that tried to eat like a 5-year-old girl.
Really?
in one of our parks. Oh yeah, they closed down the parks. We don't have Kodiaks here yet. They're releasing brown bears, Kodiaks, in the Cascades, which is eastern Washington. But bears swim, so we'll probably have Kodiaks out here. But we have tons of black bears, and then of course we have a ton of elk. Like elk right now are all down in the lower valleys because they're calving and stuff like that, and they're going up the mountains and down the mountains right now until the snow starts. So
Okay. Nice.
yeah,
I want to go. I want to visit. I actually want to. I want to hike.
I know.
I wanna hike
I'm gonna give you the secret link to the second channel that I have that I never talk about, and it's just Pacific Northwest wildlife and outdoors videos that I shoot. It's
Nice.
just it's a passion project for me. I think I have like 10 or 12 subscribers. I don't think I'll ever start a live stream again, even though I paid for a whole year of a streaming service. It's just there's a lot of reasons for that. It has nothing to do with people. I just I hate this platform. I hate what this platform did to us during the lockdowns and how it has contributed into doing so much harm to so many people with the ideologies that it's chosen to promote and the things that they have not allowed people to talk about. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, you know?
Yeah, I totally understand that. I remember like people couldn't say certain words, and
Yeah.
people were losing.
Hey,
People were losing their.
But Brian, they had plenty of time to take your channel out if you said the coronavirus. But if you're a dude who's pretending to be a girl and you show all kinds of videos about lists of people you're going to delete in weapons, apparently their AI can't find that. It's funny how that works, right?
Yeah, it's wild. What can I say?
Yeah.
All right.
Bears,
So,
cougars, and elk. Oh my, exactly, Max.
all right. So yeah, I can't wait. So no Chilporial next week. I'm going to Comic-Con, leaving Thursday
I'm
night.
bringing good bourbon. Don't worry. I
Nice.
bring a
All
nice
right,
big
cool.
bottle of really good bourbon, so we'll be fine.
I forget. It's in the same hotel, right? The Comic-Con, or is it in a different place?
It's like 2 blocks away.
Oh, it's 2 blocks away. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to. So yeah, that's that. Everything's paid for except for food and whatever souvenirs I'm going to buy at the convention. So
Yeah.
I'll
We'll have to talk about some logistics.
So since I'm a normie, like I'm like a sub normie when it comes to comics. So I or maybe giant normie. Maybe it's better to say giant normie. All right, giant normie. So I need to know where to start with certain comics and certain comic book careers, like the
Brian,
ones you were bringing up earlier.
there are so many things to do with this convention. There are so many panels. There are so many nerd things and expositions. You're going to be spoiled for choice to things to do. And if you want to wander around with me, like I'm going to use you at a certain point because we'll talk about it, but most comic artists, they give you the first 2 signatures free. And then it's depending on how big they are, it's from $5 to $10 a signature. So I'm gonna use you for that because some of these, like I said, Art Adams, one of my favorite comic book guy, I have 35 comics for him to sign, Liam Sharp, I probably have 20. That adds up real quick. You know what I mean? So I'll be using you for that. But Brian, you don't have to be a comic book guy. You can just be a nerd guy who loves all of these other things. And if you want to come up and meet some of these guys that I've met before, it'd be great. And I'll show you the comic books that I have and I'll talk about why I like them. But, like I said, you can talk to all these other people, and do whatever you want to do. You don't have to like stuff just because I like it,
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, part of being nerdporial is to discover new things.
To boldly go where no one.
Yeah, to boldly go where no porial has gone before, or something.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
But like a lot, like for me, a lot of the stuff to discover is looking backwards, stuff that was made before, or stuff that's
what I'm doing, Brian.
There's stuff that's very underrated, basically.
There is, and there's a bunch of just that's all that I do is I'm finding things that I saw once, or things that I've never seen from the 70s, 80s, even the 90s, or just rewatching the things that I love that have good stories. I mean, I must have watched The Fog I must watch The Fog at least once every 2 weeks because it's such a comforting movie. So
We'll have to talk. Been trying to ask people if they want to do serial horror. I've been getting a whole bunch of I'm not into horror. I'm not into horror. I'm just like, oh well. So I'll
she
talk.
talked to
Maybe
Purple
there,
Valkyrie. Yeah.
yeah. I'll talk. I'll have to talk to her too. So, but yeah, I'm trying to see if I can recruit people to talk serial horror because we're approaching Halloween season. So,
Oh, Max is working on a second channel too. Well, ping me. I'll send you the link, Mags, if you want to check it out. So, everybody, I'll send it to you too, Brian. You can see where I am and what I'm doing. You know, shooting videos of elk and wandering in the woods and shit like that. So,
yeah. So. Yeah, so 2 weeks. So Chilporial will return in 2 weeks. I'm going to have Sci-Fi Mambi on to talk science fiction, Star Trek, and all that. Part of Orville Nation's We Grow Together crew. So yeah, so gonna have her on, and after that, well, I'm trying to recruit more guests for Chilporial, old and new. So we'll see.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks everybody for being here. Hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. If you're still here, leave a comment. Just say, Brian, you're a dork. And that's it. It'll help. Engagement will help the algorithm. Of course, hit the like button.
When we're done, I'm going to leave a comment that's literally, Brian, you're a dork.
Yes. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
But yeah, good night. And there's going to be no outro. So everybody take care and stay safe this 3-day weekend. And yeah.
Don't drink, go crazy.
Have a good time. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.